Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Mind, Money, Soul, and I'm going to answer the question of how do I stay motivated towards clearing my debt? So I had somebody slide into my DMs recently and she told me this beautiful story about she had about 40 odd thousand pounds worth of debt and she is maybe down to about 5 grand, a couple of grand it was, and she feels like a lack of motivation and is struggling to get that last bit done. The closer she gets to the goal, the harder it is. So how does she stay motivated to clearing it? Now, the concepts that I'm going to talk about and the things I'm going to touch on can be applied to not only a lot of life when we're trying to do things, but also generally other parts of our money. So where we're going to start is the understanding that you need to stop passing control over to the hands of motivation like your life doesn't depend on it, because it does. But in this instance, if you rely on motivation to be the thing that's going to help you get to your dreams and your goals, you're fucked. Because motivation comes and goes in alignment with our emotions, our energies, what's happened that day, and that is really rocky territory to be in. If we are building something and we build on rubble and we're like just hoping it's all okay, that's probably not going to be very helpful. We want a strong foundation, right? Now that strong foundation is not relying on motivation. Now a lot of the time, motivation actually comes second to taking action. So it's the action that we need to focus on. The focus of working towards our goals and our dreams needs to be in the hands of discipline and action and habits and systems. We cannot leave it down to motivation and our emotions and thoughts and feelings and energy on any given day. Now, I heard this beautiful quote once that said, the quality of your life depends on the quality of your habits. Now, as we know, when something becomes a habit, we're no longer having to use willpower or motivation or a certain amount of energy to push us to do that thing. It's just a habit. It just happens. The action already takes place. The great thing about that is when things are just happening subconsciously and we're so used to doing them, we free up more time and energy and space to look at and do and achieve and enjoy other things. So when it comes to clearing your debts, you want to focus on what systems and habits do I have in place that allow me to reach this goal, that do not rely on motivation being the thing to get me there. And sometimes it's really just about us changing the way we ask a question. In life, we can get so much further if we shift our language and change the types of questions that we ask. So instead of saying, how do I stay motivated on my journey to achieving my financial goals, you say, what habits and systems do I need to reach those goals? So we go from saying, how do I stay motivated to what habits and systems do I need? Now, part of this I read in Atomic Habits, James Clear's book, one of my favorites. But all of this will put the control back in your hands. It gives you way more control over the goals that you're actually working towards because you create a system that allows you to actually get there regardless of how you feel, regardless of your motivation. Now, think about it like this. Let's say you want to get fit and healthy, but all of your life you have found exercising quite hard, you've never really enjoyed it, you've always struggled in your body, you've always felt a bit, exercise isn't fun, it's not for me. If you've always felt and thought that way and you've created a belief around that, even if one day you feel so motivated and you're like, I'm gonna get fit, I'm gonna go to the gym, let's do this, and you're always relying on that energy, that isn't gonna work because your ingrained beliefs and your subconscious behaviors are that the gym and exercising isn't fun and fitness and wellness isn't something that you just naturally do. It's hard work, you need willpower. So therefore, when you wake up in the morning, your body isn't going to be going, hell yeah, let's go to the gym. It's just going to fall back into old habits. And that's the cycle that you want to break. You're not relying on motivation, but you're asking yourself, how do I set myself up for success? So in this instance, what you would do is the night before, you would decide on obviously what your goals are. You're already going to know what your goals are. So what you're going to do is the night before, you're going to lay out your clothes to wear, you're going to pack your bag for work, you're going to decide what workout you're doing and what food you're going to eat. So that when you wake up in the morning, all you have to do is put one foot in front of the other and do the things that are already laid out for you. And it's a lot easier than having to do all of the steps. So you're basically setting yourself up for success so that you're not relying on motivation. Now that's what's going to help you stick to like a fitness or a health program until it gets to the point where it becomes a habit. And you can do the same with your money. So here are some ways that you can set yourself up using good habits and useful systems so that you can actually achieve your financial goals and not rely solely on motivation. Number one is automations. Automate your finances. This is the highest form of taking the emotion out of it, not relying on motivation, and just having a system, financial system that works for you. When you automate your finances, you're basically setting up direct debits and standing orders that move your money around for you. It's just like having your own little bookkeeper or accountant or, you know, financial person inside of you, inside of you, that's a bit weird, inside of your life that is moving the money for you. You're not relying on one day going, okay, move this money into my savings, move this money into my spending card, clear this money off my debt. Because if you go to do that on a day where you're feeling a bit low, maybe your serotonin's low, maybe you've had a bit of a bad day, maybe you haven't eaten, you're not going to want to do those things. You'll be like, oh, maybe I'll just hold on to a bit more of it, or maybe I'll clear my debt tomorrow, or maybe I won't pay off as much. All of those things are going to stop you from actually doing what you want to do. If you automate this, the money moves for you. It's done. You don't need to think about it. Now, if you get paid once a month and you get one payday, or whether you get paid throughout the month, you can still create a system that moves your money on your behalf, leaves the emotion out of it. So when it comes to clearing debt, what this is going to do is you could set up direct debits to your different credit cards or loans or whatever it is that you're clearing to pay off a certain amount every single month. And it is not relying on you deciding whether you want to do that or not. And you'll be surprised how you don't really realize or notice, and it just happens. That's what we love. Okay, number two is about creating a ritual around your money. Have a certain day in the diary once a week where you have a money date, you check over your finances, you look at your money, you make it all nice. Have that set into your calendar, like literally put a recurring event. Or create a money ritual for the morning. What's something that you do every single morning? Maybe it's wake up, look in your bank account, check the transactions from yesterday, check the transactions for, you know, think about what you're going to spend your money on today, and then sit and visualize yourself with an abundance of money. Like, create yourself a little money ritual in the morning that allows you to connect with your money and also build a better relationship with it. When we avoid it, it only makes things worse. So when it comes to your debt, if you avoid your debt and you pretend it's not there and you ignore it and then you're disconnected from it, you're more likely to just tap on the credit card or just quickly put something from Amazon on there because, you know, like what's an extra 20 quid? But that is a lack of connection to your money. So if you have these little rituals, money dates, monthly money dates, weekly check-ins, daily rituals, it's going to help you with your quote unquote motivation because you have more connection to your money. And then also, number three, ask yourself, what am I saying to myself about money? Really look at your language around your finances, because you will be surprised at some of the phrases or the words that you use that are so subconscious, that are so ingrained, you don't realize that they are self-sabotaging and holding you back. When it comes to your debt-free journey, are you saying things like, oh my God, this is so hard. Oh my God, this is never going to work. Oh, I've been doing this for ages. Oh, I'm not able to. But is it all negative language? Because if it is, that is only going to make you feel worse about being on this journey. Now, I remember I went to a retreat a little while ago and we were talking about thoughts and outlook. And I remember Jessie, who was running it, talking about like vegetables and eating vegetables. And it was like, if you're trying to get fit, right, you don't have to enjoy eating vegetables. You can still do it anyway. Like for me, I do love greens. I'm not going to lie. But there are certain things that I eat and certain things that I put in my diet that I don't love doing, but I do it anyway because my value of wanting to be healthy is greater than my dislike for whatever health practice this is. And this is the same with your money improvements on your money journey. It doesn't matter if you don't enjoy it or you don't like it or you're not happy about clearing off your debt or you find it annoying to sit and have a money day. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. In life, we have to do hard things. that is just what it is to be an adult. It's okay that you don't like it. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. Now, 50% of success is just turning up and showing and proving to yourself that you are capable. On your financial journey, as you are working towards clearing your debt or whatever else it is, saving, investing, you have to show up. You have to prove to yourself, this is what I want, I prioritize this, I'm capable of this, and then the other 50% is the action. But if you aren't showing up and doing the things or trying to do the things that are going to make a difference, and you're just kind of relying on feeling motivated each day, I'm telling you now, you are not going to get as far as you would like to get, and that's the key thing. How far do you want to get? What is it that you're trying to achieve? And when it comes to clearing your debt, you can have a goal and it can feel so good and so exciting, but the daily actions of having to clear debt kind of sucks. You've got to cut back. You have to, you know, maybe work harder to make a bit more money. Doesn't mean you have to like it. Doesn't mean you have to enjoy it, but you're showing up and you're doing it for yourself because you want to be financially successful. And the want for that needs to be greater than anything else. So really focus on, what can financial success give me? What does financial success mean to me? And how can I actually make that work for me? Because it looks different for everybody, but it is absolutely possible for you. And remember, you don't have to be the most amazing person at managing your finances. You don't have to be the best or the most perfect or never make any mistakes, because that's gonna happen. You're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna fuck up. There are gonna be things that you're like, God damn it, why did I spend that, save that, invest in that? And that's okay, because we're all human and we're all just going on this journey, and you can make changes and you can learn and you can grow. And that's the fun part. So on this financial journey, especially as you're clearing your debt, know that you're going to make mistakes, but that's just going to take you closer to your goal because you're going to learn from it. Now, to round this episode off, when it comes to clearing your debt, really important to also make sure that you're tracking it. So our brains love visual trackers, colorful things, coloring in little boxes, whatever that looks like. And it's really motivating for your brain to see the progress that you make. So have some kind of progress tracker, because that will help, ironically, with your motivation. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. I have, if anybody isn't signed up to it, I have a weekly newsletter which is called The Money Moment, and I talk about different mindset tips and different money tips and different soul tips, which I just love. And I talk about dating, and I talk about money, and I talk about wealth, and I talk about all of the things. So there'll be a link in my bio if you want to join it, which just go to my website. And yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Mwah.